By the time we designed this project, it was at the height of COVID. We had a lag of almost 6 months before even, the COVID regulations, the conditions to be relaxed a bit for us to start even engaging the community.
The rebuild project was, for me, the implementation of the paragraph 34 of the Global Compact on Refugees. That says that responses are most effective when they meaningfully and actively engage those they are intended to protect and assist.
Most times in our urban programs, we target vulnerable communities within the informal settlement. But in the onset of Rebuild, Pamoja Trust was now introduced into this new landscape of refugee as a vulnerable community within the informal settlements that we've been working in.
It was a nice experience working with the refugees because I remember us going to the field, trying to get the mothers that had children below 3 years. So we used to go to their houses and try to see the environment which they are coming from, and also get to have the birth certificates. And that was the most exciting part of it, that even a refugee has an opportunity to enter into a hospital, give birth, and also acquire a notification card and a birth certificate.
When we are starting to work together with Rebuild, we are so fearful. We thought we are women-led, we are too small, our skills may not be fitting, but we found the staff of Rebuild. I can mention few, Vitaline, Moses, and Musa, and some few. They have really helped us to reach the standard of IRC, of Rebuild. And in a few months, or the first year, we were able to catch up. Now we are competing. We don't fear any other organization who come with whatever activity. We don't fear because we have gained the strength through IRC staff.
As implementing partners, most cases you find there is that gap that is usually around between the implementing partner and the funder. But that relationship where we were welcomed, we felt at home, we always had that confidence to approach them at any time. So Rebuild has been a friendly ground that we have been able to confidently carry out our activities, knowing well that there is a gap that has been closed.
When you look at in terms of the flexibility, it is not inclined only on a specific group of, we can say, partnership. We have the partnerships that are across the board, right from the community level up to the regional and international level.
We were quite ambitious and very hopeful that we'll onboard the Nairobi City County government in good time. We got a bit of delay over 1 year to have the Memorandum of Understanding signed off. But the day that MOU was signed and even having it launched, that was for me was a very big relief and key memorable to me in terms of getting the county government and accepting to work with us in the program.
Through our partnership program with Rebuild, one of the key milestones was to develop a framework. So we call it the Nairobi County Refugee Integration and Host Community Building Strategy, which now provides a framework where departments that are in the county are able now to mainstream even issues of refugee integration in our work. So for me, I think that has been the most proudest moment.
When it comes to equipment, Rebuild has always had the funds. If I need a printer, I just write to the program manager, we need this. And in a short time, the funds are available. Anything I need regarding to IT, everything has been available. So that's one thing I liked about Rebuild.
When we paid out 5 billion Uganda shilling. As a finance person, I remember with the finance team, it took us almost 2 weeks with just having sleepless nights.
The fact that we were able to transfer the money before even the deadline, with the support of all these people around me, it gave me an experience of coordinating with people, understanding we have different temperaments when we work under pressure. People are blowing up, some of them, and at some point I had to know when to be a lion, when to be a lamb.
I was given a task to bring on board a team. It was quite a big team. The facilitators, they needed around 53, which we did on board. And among those, we did have 25 refugees. That was quite an experience that we were able to look out for a number of people. And also within the staff, the regular or permanent staff, we had 6 refugees. I'll call it as a success on my end, because it was one of a kind that even amidst the support that we give to refugees, we're able to employ also refugees on board to support the team.
One activity that I remember is the mass recruitment for the Wave 2. And the number of clients, people that turned up for registration. And with this, I was able to see the need for the rebuild services in the community, especially micro-enterprise. And at some point, I paused and reflected and wondered whether the donors really are able to see or the gap that is existing in the services in the community, especially for the refugees, whom as rebuild we were not able to reach to all of them.
What surprised me is mostly seeing changes, the way project really impacts the clients out there during when we do the monitoring evaluation, or maybe when we are doing the business verification, when we compare the clients when we first met them during registration and after time, let's say like a year.
Whenever you go, people will always remind you, do you remember you registered me? This is my business. This is what I've been able to do. This is my family. So we are proud that we have worked under the program that has been able to change the lives of people, and people are giving successful stories, not to us only, but in the entire communities.
When they issued out the cash grant in Wave 2, I got so many compliments in form of feedback. Thank you, IRC. We were able to stand on our own. Thank you, IRC. I was able to start my dream business. Thank you, IRC. I'm able to send my children to school because now they have school fees.
Rebuild is different. It's a trailblazer actually, because if you look at what we do, we combine learning with service provision. Being able to generate evidence that can be shared out there to shape policy and practice, and still at the same time being able to deliver high quality services to our clients.
We have learned that we don't wait to get funding from outside. How can we use the little resource we have, like what these groups did? They are contributing very small money, but now the saving is increasing. So they are not getting any funding from outside. They are getting funding and sustainability among themselves.
We've seen how powerful can be a training, for instance, in entrepreneurship, because actually we have some success story of the people within those groups who just after finishing the training, they actually started small businesses, and they are now generating income for themselves and for their households, which is so exciting because it's changing the lives of people. It has a very great impact in the community.
I think one of the greatest lessons we pick with Rebuild is that the people we call vulnerable, the people we consider marginalized, I have a lot of inherent abilities. And if we can help them to unlock those abilities by creating an environment that facilitates those budding abilities to come out, they are able to take charge of their situation.
So one of the key lessons is just awareness on matters concerning refugees. So some of the people that we see even within our community or neighborhoods are not refugees or asylum seekers, so some of them are economic migrants. We assume that everybody who is probably a foreigner, and especially those with the neighboring countries, are refugees. So I think that was one of the lessons.
As Pamoja Trust, we've learned that number one, the co-designing with communities is very critical, because now it helps us in really meeting the needs of communities. Most of the time, people implement without having communities in mind. So we purpose to be having solutions for the communities, but in real sense, communities know what exactly the solutions could be.
We have all walked a great journey. I want to echo a shout out to the technical unit. You know, at the onset of this project, there's one mentor of mine that Elizabeth Mukami have worked with her and even supporting in terms of the programming. She has worked with the rebuild up to where it is, you know, from the birth to now, at the time now graduated to adulthood. We are talking about now evidence generated. We have had great leadership from Priscilla, supported by Belinda, you know, and the PMT leadership from the research headed by David, you know. We are talking about also the 2 project managers, that is Claudius, Moses, and even the communication. This is the project that has a very robust communication, by the way. You look at our website, very interactive, the hits. You look at the people who visit our website and even to read the literature we have published there. It shows you the kind of also the talent we have in-house in terms of our visibility. So, cannot mention people by names, but I can just say that we had a very diverse and very committed team. And congratulations to everyone for that great job.